what is Target getting right when they're supposed to be one of the most impacted by tariffs?
Well, the tariffs aren't really hitting them hard yet, right? And what they've done right is basically retailing 101. They've gone back to being the Target they tried to be in 2006 when I thought they were the best retailer in the country. And they're getting that consumer. They're doing things like the Vineyard Vines capsule collection, and it's working. So, yeah, they're doing a great job. I would not have believed that they, Amazon, and Walmart could all be great at the same time.
Right.
But they are right now.
And, Simeon, you had just upgraded them to equal weight on Monday after a 5-year underweight call. Is that right? What gave you the confidence to do it then? And what do you see borne out today?
Look, as Jan said, I think they've recaptured this cheap chic. They got their merchandising, their mojo back. They took every category and re-merchandised it. They rebranded. They're enhancing their stores. It's a place that consumers want to go. Even during that 5-year underweight call, we still said the consumer would be receptive to it. We had some concerns about margin, but we saw the recent pullback as an opportunity to lessen our view.
So let's talk about profit margin for a moment. Won't it be hurt by these tariffs on China?
Yeah, most certainly. So I was talking to Jen earlier. Most of our companies have talked about tariff in isolation of their business, and you don't see a lot of impacts to earnings so far. We factored into guidance, or it's a net neutral impact. I think what that's missing is the collective impact on the consumer. The wallet will probably take a hit in some form or another.
It has to, right?
It has to. Every retailer is looking at the silo of the product that they're selling.
But the retailers could say, look, we're just passing that along. I mean, it's interesting to me to say how much of that are they going to absorb and how much of a hit are they going to take to their profit margins, and how much pricing power do they have?
Yeah, first 10%, I would say pendulum swung in the favor of the retailer. They were able to push back on suppliers. They were able to maybe modestly make some tweaks to their portfolio of product approach. The next 25%, the consumer is going to have to feel that in some way or another. I don't think there's enough in the supply chain to absorb that hit without it going to the consumer.
So you think that they will take some hit to profit margins, but obviously the street is not that worried about it today.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels somewhat, for Target, no, but in general, a little bit dismissive. The stocks have priced it in on certain days. But in general, in our space, in the hardline, broadline retail space, we've estimated somewhere like a 10% hit to EPS on average, with varying degrees of impact by retailers.
But you don't think the stocks have priced that in?
Partially. We don't think they're fully priced in.
Okay. All right. So, Jan, it's interesting in this environment, you might say, well, hey, someone like Nordstrom should be doing great. They have, high-priced merchandise. They should be able to kind of sneak that through, a less price-sensitive customer. The total opposite is happening. What's the big challenge for Nordstrom now?
Well, the big challenge is that space is crowded, and Amazon's made it more crowded. Remember, they did books, they did electronics. Now they're doing fashion because it takes dollars out of the system. But the real problem is, in the Nordstrom's case, there's Nordstrom's, Neiman Saks, and Lord & Taylor. In Macy's case, there's just Macy's in that space. In the Kohl's case, where you saw the problem, there's Penny's, Kohl's, and still some Sears. So you need to be protected from your brethren because you're eating each other's lunch. And everything's putting pressure on you. The other thing that's changing the model is rental and resale. It's a $35 billion business now, growing at 40% a year. It's got to affect somebody.
No, you're right. And I'm really just waking up to this. We're going to talk actually more about what Urban's doing next hour. But I haven't done the rental thing myself. But anecdotally, I realize everybody else is. So what should Nordstrom do in that environment?
They should play the game. Everybody is going to have to play. All the brands need to play. If you're Gucci, if you're LVMH, if you're any of those high-end brands, you really should be doing this.
But could that be a great business model for them if they make that transition? Look, everything else in the world is being offered as a service. They can jump on board and get a tech multiple, right?
Yes, I think that's a great idea. What I really think is if you don't do it, somebody does it to you.
Right.
So you should do it yourself and not have somebody do it to you.